Here I am with another strongest weapon video, with an obvious bias towards my favorite, Cerata. After armor being fixed to max 90% and status rework, giving viral bonus to Orokin and corrosive bonus to Greenear, Cerata became my instant one for all weapon. Innate toxin that adds up to high values for viral and corrosive gives insane results in terms of damage output. But for these who don't like thrown weapons, I got an alternative, so do not worry. Cerata is also very easy to acquire because all you have to do is get into a clan, go to dojo and get the blueprint for it. It has forced toxins, so for frames like Saryn it's ideal, and it has very high Riven disposition, meanwhile Rivens being very cheap. Can you imagine that I just spent 300 platinum on this bad boy? And making this short, I knew it's gonna be a good way to send out a message about my Mirage video, because this weapon can literally damage cap on Juggernaut behemoths. If you don't know how tanky this is, just try it for yourself and you're gonna realize how broken it is. It's enough that they are immune to status. So when we look at the thrown weapons, we don't really care about anything till we go to the charge throw breakdown. This is the actual damage because we will always fully charge and throw it and explode it. We will not be using any other unrelated stuff like just normal throw. I don't know how you even do that, you just don't hold it long enough, I guess. And you're not gonna be swinging with a glaive, that's for sure. So these are the differences with glaive, and the crit multiplier you see is because my Kullervo got stacked up violet Archon shards. So it's only 5% crit strike difference, 0.5 difference on crit multiplier. Status is same, total damage is more on our Cerata, and we have 162 toxin compared to no toxin, and compared to a very high slash, because Glaive has that force slash. But after that armor rework and capping it to 90% and overall status rework, the slash doesn't really have the same value and the same impact as before. But granted, you can just equip Glaive and forget about anything. It's also one of the best weapons in, like all of the thrones, expect this one, and the standard version of course, are one of the best weapons in the game, period. But at the moment, I even think Pass Assist is better than Glaive, because with melee influence, it has forced viral proc, so you can AoE fully prime enemies if there's like 10 of them and you have influence up, the forced viral proc will just fully viral prime all of them. And it has even higher disposition than Cerata, just it's fixed to have the viral damage. But granted, you can also make it viral and corrosive, and this is why I'd say this is the second best of all the thrones. So let's take one more look at how the stats look on Cerata, and let's take a look how they look with the mods. So on the charge throw, 21, 10.9, 34, 402 total, and 4.8 meter explosion range with 0 fall off and toxin 1.3k. But with the mods, it looks way more juicy because we have 44.1% critical chance, and there is a disclaimer here. Because if you either using Kullervo or just his augment, you don't need the crit chance on a Riven. My Riven does not have it, because I always use WRATHFUL Advance for it, or Kullervo. But if you do not have that, you will need a Riven with a critical strike chance. But if you're building mainly for the melee and you have the Archon shards like I do for the melee critical damage, I mean, you just cannot pass on the Kullervo's helmet. Farm him up, buy him, wherever, you need that helmet. It's like at least 3 tiers of crit, so 16.7 times 3. You just cannot pass on that. But back to our Cerata. Status 34%. You don't really build the status unless you wanna go for melee influence, and since this is the build you see for melee exposure, this is why I have so much flat out damage with a viral on it and electric standalone, because my Riven is cold, so I just swap slots, and then I have corrosive, and I'm happy with cold standalone. Cold has the least negative damage outputs as an element, so it's just perfect to be there alone. In case I wanna swap to influence, I just swap spots of those mods, and I'm done. And our bounce attack is because we have the mod that gives us increased range on the explosion on glaives, because I don't see any glaive being able to be really played without it, unless you want the build not based on the explosions, but on the bounces. So our range on explosion goes to 7.8 meter. And with Kullervo's passive, or mods, if you do not use Kullervo, we have our high wind-up speed. So I will be showing you two builds, either if you're using Kullervo or other melee-based frame like Voruna, or if you're using any other frame. But let's quickly go around our accessories for the weapon, which is Naramon or Madurai in Focus School, this infinite combo points, duration, with the power spike, and Madurai is a simple damage increase and sling strength for our abilities that enhance the Cerata further. We have Panzer, but the main point is to have that Tenacious Bond, Tandem Bond on the pad, and it's a free combo generation meanwhile you do you, and you have some extra critical strike damage. And since it's a final multiplier with all these shards, it's just that broken buff, well, very hard to pass on. Before the rework on pets, it was like painfully, it was truly putting a big pain in my heart that I had to use the Mechadoc because it was the best primer, but it could not reach the 50 crit on the weapon, so I could not get the My Tenacious Bond. And we're gonna enhance it with Cerata for the combo generation, because Kullervo's passive gives you efficiency on heavy attack, and our Noctua for ability strength increase, but yeah, the damage is already capped before even getting the Noctua up, so that's a rare case. I use it nowadays because just how bonkers the damage got after the status update. And now for the Cerata build. And just quickly before we go further into the video, as you guys can see, 90% of you are not subscribed. So if you're enjoying the content, please leave a subscribe and maybe share with anyone you think would be interested in the video. And don't forget about the bell icon so you can get notified with the latest uploads. So thank you in advance, and let's continue with the video. And that's the build I'm using when I'm using melee exposure, which is Dispatch Overdrive in the Exilus for movement speed. Any of the stances, it doesn't matter, all you do is throw the weapon. Amalgam Organ Shatter to get even more heavy wind-up speed, even if it's Kullervo. Galvanized Steel, Power Throw, you need to learn how to use this one if you do not know. I have it in my guide for all the drones, but it's a multiplicative 300% throw damage. You cannot pass on that one, it's too good. Primed Pressure Point, because of how many multipliers we have, the base damage value is rising sky high, and that even crit damage, melee damage, and an elemental. Normally you would like to have some critical strike chance and critical damage, but since I'm using Kullervo or his Helmet, I don't really do need any like critical strike chance on the Riven, so I go for flat out damage. Rend Fever Strike, heavy elemental, focus energy to cap out the 90% heavy efficiency on Kullervo, and volatile quick return just to get the bigger coverage with the AoE explosion. The best thing, if you could copy the exact Riven, this build can apply to every single drone weapon in the game. And this is a small variation for every other Warframe. We just have to pass on our primed pressure point in favor of killing blow. Bit less flat damage, but we need that heavy attack wind-up speed. We need it, and that's end of the story. It just feels really bad if you do not have it. And of course, if you would be to play melee crescendo instead of melee exposure, you take out reflex for prime pressure point, and in case you want influence, you take out this, you swap spots, so the focus energy we would be putting instead reflex is in this slot, so the viral stays and we gain the electricity as a standalone element. And for all the Saryn lovers or other kind of melee influence lovers, this is the build you would go for if you were on Saryn or you wanted to have the best out of the melee influence. Reflex, Elementalist, you can swap this for killing blow and use the Elementalist Galvanized. It's actually up to your preference. You build the viral, unless you can force electricity or somehow get the melee influence. This is the only way you can use Cerata with viral. But since AoE procs, force procs the toxin, we don't need the blast like on other weapons. So I think the Saryn Cerata combo would be the best to show you the Cerata, how it looks like and feels like with Saryn herself. Since there is just no point, since I already showed you Cerata in version for Mirage, for Kullervo, all that is left is to show you how it performs with the melee influence and our Saryn. Just one quick notification, if we swap for focus energy instead voltaic strike, we will have the cap 90% heavy attack efficiency. Therefore, any frame with this build can use Cerata and generate combo points to 12x very quick, and then abuse it with the 90% heavy efficiency. Just let me show you how it looks like. But well, I thought of like showing all of the variations, so I'm just gonna do a way quicker showcases in the mission than I usually do. I'm not gonna do a whole mission, I'm just gonna get my combo points real quick. Press Molt so you don't die. And the melee influence should be doing quite the job for us now. Like every single straight up impact will force your Toxic Clash and will force the Force Toxin off of the Cerata, so we have double melee and a thrown weapon off of that. which means you have the toxin from the heavy on a single target. And when you first explode, then heavy explode on a target, you have 4 heavy fat toxin on your target. And with Saryn, yeah, that is quite the... I didn't swap to Nairo for the Nox. That is quite the amount of status damage, especially we have like 4 Archon shards for the toxin status damage. Melee influence is just up all the time because you're hitting several enemies. So they don't even manage to spawn fast enough from what I see. I just wonder if I can damage cap with the status effect, but they're just dying before even the status effect gets to do any work. They're just dying to flat out direct damage. So what we talking about, like 4 toxins, when they just straight up probably they actually do fucking die to non-explode. Look, I'm not exploding it right now. Just look at the combo counter. This is just a normal usual throw. Now they dying to the toxin because the Eximus didn't die to the non-explosion. So he managed to like spread the toxin as well instead of getting like the direct hit. And we could see some toxin work, but for this we'll have to get to level caps for them not to die instantly. So yeah, you literally don't even need to explode it. If we have 300k with not exploding it, it just means the numbers we're gonna have on a fucking explosion are just insane. $385k, 385 kills, not K. That would be a bit too stupid if we had K on the kills. Let's rest the pet. Here we go. He became a sentinel. Let's throw it without the exploding again, some more times. I mean, they die too fast to even get the influence properly. It's insane. It's without the crit, without the amplifiers other than the Saryn buffs, but it's not the crit amplifier, which is the strongest part of it. Well, you won't see much more. Let's maybe just wait for the Acolyte since I'm already long time here. Just rebuff quick. Maybe get combo. I mean, yeah, Saryn makes Cerata a bit broken even with some negative damage even. Because we have dexterity for the combo duration. I mean, this is just insane. They die way too fast. I need the level cap mission to start off with. Yeah, it's 38 million heavy explosions, so I can guarantee you the toxin proc off of that is gonna go bananas, especially that the toxic dash scales with our mods on the weapon. So yeah, you know, if it scales with something like Prime Fever Strike, the toxic dash gets quite the buff. I need not to explode it. I need my influence up. But I think in case of Saryn it would be way easier to proc our influence if I didn't have the corrosive buff on. Is the Acolyte coming? What is he doing even? Oh, I got knocked, so... Oh, I think I can show you... It's insane that they keep dying to it. Even if I sacrifice myself to get knocked, they will just still die to it anyways. It's insane. Okay, before I die. Let's explode it over them. I mean, this is like the weakest version in terms of direct damage the Cerata can pull, because it's all into the status damage. So, let's see on the Acolyte. Yeah. What can you say? That's a status damage focused Cerata. But doesn't really care. Well, let's see it with Mirage now. And now we're gonna be using our Mirage. I already just recently made a video for her, built like this, WRATHFUL Advance of course, and we're going to this loadout. Before, I'm just gonna get my Spectre out, just as I showed in my Mirage video. Gonna get my Noctua for the fat ability strength. Oh, no. Oh, I'm not in Madurai. I reap 40% AB strength. 1.2k Eclipse should be enough, I guess. Will have to be. We also get our WRATHFUL Advance to 700. And here we go. Just gonna spam some damage cap to show you how... Oh, the game lags. The only lower damage you see than damage cap is sadly from the clones. They don't get the crit damage and lots of modifiers. But basically everything you're gonna hit with Mirage now is gonna be capped. You don't even need a 12x. So, yeah. It's broken. Like, Mirage is broken, this is broken. What can I tell you? This is literally damage cap every goddamn damage instance. So I don't think there is anything else that needs to be shown in here. I think that is like the pick we can get. I think I just saw numbers I didn't want to see, even without WRATHFUL Advance, man. Like, let me see how much damage I can go for without the WRATHFUL Advance. 81. Come on, before I die. Actually, oh, what is this scanner? No, don't kill me. I really wanna get my combo points to see if I only need Eclipse to get the damage cap. Please don't kill me fast. No way, I don't even need crit. I mean, bro. You saw for yourself. And now, for the final showcase of Cerata, we're gonna use Revenant, built like this, with no outside help, no buff. And we're gonna be using the Saryn loadout for the status damage and melee influence, just in order to lower the direct damage, so maybe I can show you something other than enemies instantly dying. I will also not be using any Noctua, I will not be using my Rauta, I will basically not use anything outside of the Mesmer skin and spam throw the weapon. This is all we need. There is no power throw in this loadout, so the damage is heavily hindered. So yeah, let's see how it performs. It's way easier to get melee influence if everything does and die instantly. See ya. Toxin, the new Slash, I guess. Damn, those parkour velocity Archon shots going wild and out. I mean, it's kinda still one throw for everything. So, I don't know what to tell you. No buffs, no power throw, which is a huge damage increase to any thrown weapon. I have to chase enemies where they spawn, cause it kills everything around, so. We're not gonna be melee swinging like this with any thrown, cause it's a waste of time and effort. I mean, what can I tell you? It's just wherever it lands, it kills. Oh, how did you stay alive? With basically no proc on you. Oh, guess I'm too slow with exploding it. Let me see. Yeah, when I'm faster on the explodes, it's way different. Yep. Did I explode it away from him? I mean, I don't understand sometimes what's happening with this game. He was basically, his overguard was barely touched. The second throw, he just instantly died. No, it's fun when you have the melee influence up. 3? I mean, Thing is, if you throw and then explode, you have way better toxin procs. Well, I broke my mesmer shield. Too much talking and tanking, everything coming at me. I think it would be best if like you just see everything dying insta. Let me just pause it and I will come back to you once the acolyte's here. And here we go. I already got the screen shaking, flashing, or whatever it is. Where is he? Oh, he actually... Okay, I'm surprised he survived. I guess sometimes getting some combo points when acolyte's coming isn't the worst idea. Just so he understands who the fuck is the superior, yeah? But now, let's go to the alternative one. Just need to clear one thing out. If you're playing something like Gauss, you can pass on the wind-up speed mods and go full out for damage or status chance with the galvanized elementalist. And then your influence and overall, like the proc you are having, it's gonna be way, way better. And for the alternative, because of the Riven I have on it, we will be using Kullervo to show you this. Arcane Strike, Arcane Fury, Nourish, so we don't have the Broken Roar or the Eclipse for the damage of it. And because it's like Queller, based on the status debuffs we got on the target, we will be using our Mechadog Primer with Corrosive and Heat. We could be using the Cold variation, but I'm gonna stay with the Heat one for now. And of course, it's Syam with updated builds. This is for like Kullervo oriented one. This is for any other frame if you want the biggest numbers. And this is the melee influence status damage called Saryn, but it fits everything related to damage with melee influence. And for the Riven sneak peek, this is electricity status duration status chance. Just to get the electricity and the status chance, to be fair, I have probably a better one, but I just really want my influence to be up at all times. Melee damage, critical damage, and this is why I told you that I'm gonna show you on Kullervo. Sadly, heavy attack efficiency, it's really hard to reach my 90% on other frames, so yeah. And oh my god, one more quick fix. Since it has innate heat on the heavy attack, we swapping to the blast for the Saryn loadout and melee influence overall. So the heavy can also proc our melee influence, and since blast procs the toxic clash, it's fine. We're just losing the highest mod amplifier to toxin, but it is what it is, and I will show you also on Saryn that it completely smashes anyway. So this is gonna be one of the quick shows. I'm just gonna get my combo points, show you the damage output, and I'm gonna go to the Saryn since I think melee influence is more used, way more used. So boom, 1.1 bill. First heavy swing is half damage, second swing is 1.5 damage. So the sequence on heavy attack is different. You don't always have the same numbers, and you consume points after the second swing, so you can always like double swing. And this is what happens when you use the second swing. Where's my doggo? I need to give him Nourish for priming. 0.1 bill. 387 million without any status. It's kinda wild, to be fair. Boom! And you can just use it as a normal Nikana as well, if you fancy. Or you can just use the miss the first one and use the second one if you wanna flex in front of friends that you're doing the biggest damage. That's what I would do. But let's get some more combo points, refresh Nourish. We don't have much duration on the build. I mean, having hundreds of meals without any status on this weapon is wild, not gonna lie. It's so annoying, the difference in few percentages of like the 90%. I did a damage cap with the first swing, very nice. Love to see that. I think if they are fully primed, I can do quite some decent damage with the first swing, the halved one. But yeah, this is the Syam journeys, you know, like you're trying to damage cap, but you're trying to do it with half of your power at that point. It's like, you know, Syam is quite good with the priming. Can be quite hard on like Komei, since she can do some quite decent priming. There's 1.1 build with the first swing, 1.2. Closing up the damage cap on the first swing. I like it. I think I can do it with my chains. Of course I can. Maybe no. Nah. I need full combo points. Perhaps if I get some extra pump with the Noctua. Let's see now. I mean, they dying to my Noctua because of the Prime. Oh! No! Don't die. Fuck me. Everything just dies too fast. It's not like, you know, I struggle or anything. It's just the fact that I'm killing them a billion times over in one go. But I really want the damage cap on the first swing. The second swing is like cheating, look. It's like so much more damage. I wish we got postures for the Mecha Dog. Holy, I would be still using him regardless of the mod for drop, but damn, he's doing some random shit all the time. I never know where is he. It's like, I don't understand why they didn't get the stance mods. Where is that dog even? It's so annoying actually. Sometimes the dog is just so unhinged. Cannot really control him. Oh, now. Yeah. If I wait for the viral, it's close to full damage cap on the half of the swing. It's all about the Prime. Prime is power. Oh, this guy's debuff as fuck. 792 million. But look what happens when I use the second swing. On this primed 900. Yeah. I think that's all you need to see with the Syam. One more thing, building for Dispatch Overdrive is that the Nokai is quite nice. Look at the movement speed. I don't have anything for movement speed other than just the Dispatch. So nice. Oh, I forgot about one more thing that I could actually show you, which is the Acolyte. He bought a com. It's violence. So before he gets primed, bye-bye, and onto the melee influence build. And all I wanna say is, if you want the damage cap all the time on the first swing, just don't use Nourish, use Roar or Eclipse, and here you go. So we have Saryn, we have the Saryn build, we have the Saryn looks, and now we're gonna go, of course, for the Roar, for the double dipping on the status damage. Arcane Fury, Arcane Avenger, perfect. And why Saryn again? Well, it's because the blast damage we have to go for, since the unique trait heavy swing doing the heat, we forcing the blast on the weapon to get the electric always, even on the heavy, and blast reprocs our toxic lash, which is a big, insane damage gain for our Saryn. So, don't need any combo points, but let's generate some, just for fun. And off we go. I mean, the blast itself is just very nice for it. Finds, yeah, everything just flopping. Soon, no enemies to do damage to. And all you have to do is land on one. That's a 70-meter range on the heavy wave. That means if you kill something at the end of the 70 meters, you get extra 20 meters of the melee influence damage part. So just look at the map if you wanna see how it kills, because otherwise it's gonna be hard to capture it. Oh, I think we gonna get a Stalker, because it's a bit early for a Acolyte. Beautiful. Just beautiful. You could even get some reflex or some wind-up speed, honestly. The build is quite flexible if it's Saryn. It's quite broken. Where did the Stalker spawn? Oh, where he at? Is he invisible? Nah, he keep removing my abilities, but I have no fucking clue where he at. Like, dude, come the fuck on. I think the enemies are shooting at him as well. No, I think I found him. You can finally rebuff now. And that's Syam still has issues with sometimes the wave just bugging out. But it works through like door. As long as the wave goes out and doesn't get bugged on the textures, it goes through walls. But as you can see, sometimes you all just have to do the second swing just to get the wave out, because the horizontal sometimes works, sometimes the vertical does work. So and boom. Yeah, so buggy. It's insane. 340 kills, but Stalker was kinda interrupting me. I mean, it's actually insane how buggy it is. This is the biggest weakness of Syam, that's why I picked Cerata over it. In open spaces at least it works. Not always though, from what I see. Yeah, it really doesn't always work. Yeah. Let's just wait for the Acolyte and resume then. And here we go. Mr. Acolyte about to come. It's Torment. Let's just try to second swing him. Oh, I think he got some melee influence on. Easy. Well, I wanna do one more with Mirage, but I just realized I had wrong arcane on my damage cap in Cerata run before. Needed Fury and I had Rage. So this time I didn't forget to go Madurai, so I get my voice link strength. I send Spectre out, my Noctua, and I'm gonna get the juiciest deck. Give me that Link Nidus. Link me Nidus. Oh god, the ultimate power. I'm gonna get my thingy real quick. My dog is actually killing them. I don't even understand why I'm doing orange, but okay. Oh, it's the fucking clones ruining it for me. No, they hit fast. You choky. Oh, it just timed out. I don't know. Let me get it again. But we got some. See the damage cap. Oh, beautiful. But I just love it. Oh, it's gonna be so hard with Mirage to tag the combo point. Oh, here we go. Damage cap. No, the fucking clones. No. I need them to stay alive though. But they don't get the WRATHFUL advance. Okay, I will risk it after they time out. Try to get the half an attack damage cap on the damage queen. Should be pretty easy. Here we go. I don't know if I had combo points. I do. Do I have the link? Do I have the link? What's wrong with the combo points? Why they time out instantly, all of them? What the fuck is the dog, man? It's so annoying. He should have the posture. Oh, here we go. We got the 2-1 bill with the heavy attack on the 0.5. And that's how we can end it. So that would be everything from me for now. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, share and subscribe. And as always, see you all in the next one.